In honor of Batman's new film, I've brought him a gift of fear.
Welcome back to another episode of Batman the Animated Recap. Last time, we covered...
We interrupt your normal broadcast to bring you... me.
Oh, knock it off, would you?
Oh, fine. We're bringing you a special review of The Batman.
But we always review Batman.
No, The Batman. You know, the movie we just watched.
Oh. Why did they need to clarify The Batman? Are there other knockoff Batman running around?
Oh, yes. I believe they appear in the other films wearing hockey pants.
We're already getting off track, gentlemen. This is why we need the human, to steer the ship.
We don't need that meat sack. I can steer the ship just fine. Now, let's begin this Titanic-sized review of The Batman, starring Cedric Diggory and directed by Keanu Reeves.
That's Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves.
Yes, them too.
It's going to be a long night. The review will be spoiler-free at the top with a spoiler section at the end. To get things started, what did you think, Joker? Did you enjoy The Batman?
Of course not. I wasn't in the movie anywhere.
Hey, none of us were. Aren't we like the top 3?
Please, Bane, you're not even in the top 5.
Like you should talk.
What?
Nothing.
This isn't working. Let's handle this in sections. I'm the most learned, so I'll cover the writing and directing.
If by learned you mean pretentious, then I agree.
The story of the Batman sees the Dark Knight investigating a serial killer. It borrows elements from some other Batman stories and weaves them into a compelling crime drama, while also establishing a new Gotham full of interesting characters to explore in future films.
What? Oh, sorry. I must have drifted off from boredom. Come on, Crane. People don't care about the narrative. They want to know about their favorite characters. But since I'm not in this, I guess the Gimp will have to do.
The Gimp?
Yes, the guy in all the bondage gear.
That was the Riddler.
Oh. Well, I guess that's why Batsy never walked in on Zed giving Marcellus Wallace the business.
Step aside, Brooks.
I thought Paul Dano was great as the Riddler, but I hated his costume. What is it with filmmakers covering their villains' mouths so you can't understand what they're saying?
Did you catch a word of that?
I don't know, something about costumes.
I will say that the design of the new Batsuit was great. Tons of gadgets that felt like they exist on the suit and don't magically materialize out of nowhere. And Pattinson fills that suit well. He delivers as the Batman in a big way. And if you like a broody Bruce Wayne, he delivers there as well.
Yes, broody. This whole movie is broody. What happened to the good old days when Batsy was fun and just couldn't get rid of a bomb?
Let's go. But inconspicuously.
Zoe Kravitz brings a lot to the film as Selina Kyle, delivering on both the action and dramatic elements. She and Pattinson also have great on-screen chemistry, though it's no...
Please understand, it's purely for the animals, Mr. Wayne. You're off the hook.
But you're not.
I personally loved Jeffrey Wright as Gordon. In fact, I'd say that this film does Gordon more justice than any other live-action Batman film.
Does that include the Pat Hingle version?
I am the commissioner of the police. I have the keys right here in my pocket. Would you like to see it?
What did we all think of the Penguin in this? After recently reviewing I've Got Batman in My Basement, I know we were all harboring some ill feelings towards him.
He's way better in this. Colin Farrell disappears into that character the way that Heath Ledger did as the Joker.
Ugh, don't bring him up. He ruined me for all future movies.
How so?
Because he did something so unique and interesting with the character that every weirdo that followed was like, wait till they get a load of me.
So you don't like Colin Farrell's Penguin then either?
No, he was fine. He was better than fine. He was fun. But if pressed, I'd say that even this penguin would get bested by Sherman.
Okay, get ready for Operation Foul Play.
That's fair. Let's move on to music. While there isn't a theme that really jumps out at you like the classic Danny Elfman one, the film's score is top-notch, with two notable exceptions from the soundtrack.
Is one of them that song by Nirvana?
Yes! I'm not one to be hyperbolic, but they played that song and Ave Maria 1,000 times! I wanted to kill Kurt Cobain by the end.
Fortunate that he's already dead, then.
Too soon.
What? Too soon? It's been almost 30 years!
How's the action for you, Bane?
Oh, I see how it is. Just because I have the muscles, I have to talk about the action.
Well,
I loved it. The fight scenes were quick and brutal, the car chases were high-octane and practical, and the way it was all paced throughout the mystery made the film feel way faster than its 3-hour runtime.
Yes, and the detective work in this film isn't light. There aren't any David Caruso moments.
He died hours before this accident ever happened.
So our accident is not an accident at all.
There is a genuine threat presented by this serial killer. Reeves uses music and shot composition to present something as simple as opening an envelope with such strong tension and, dare I say it, fear. It was titillating. I was titillated.
Sounds like you should really get that checked out. Can we rate this thing already so we can get into spoilers?
Yes, I think we're all in agreement here. This film was a thoroughly enjoyable affair. Though if you like your Batman a little lighter, you might find this too dark. 4.5 out of 5 Bruce Wayne appearances while cosplaying Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 3.
Spoiler time!
Yeah, so if you don't want to know that Bruce Wayne is Batman, you should go.
But you just told them!
Told them what?
That Bruce Wayne is Batsy!
He is?
That venom is seriously damaging your brain.
Oh, speaking of venom, do you think that's what Batman used in that last fight? He injected himself and then got real ragey before almost killing a guy. That sounds so like me.
What an interesting thought. And it would be a great way to introduce Bane in a future film. They did lay a lot of good groundwork for future films here. They didn't kill any of the main villains, and they even gave us a Joker teaser.
Yeah. Do you hear that? A teaser! Is that all I'm worth these days? Where's my Oscar?
If you're a fan of the Long Halloween comic story or the recently released animated films, then much of the plot will not surprise you as they lifted a lot of elements from it, including Carmine Falcone being Selina's father, and Thomas Wayne having a shady past which partly involved saving Carmine's life.
Carmine killing the Waynes was an interesting idea.
Yes, but at least they didn't show it. The last thing we need is to see the Waynes killed again. We get it. It's sad. Or hysterical, depending on your point of view.
We haven't even talked about Alfred.
That's because he's barely in the movie. In fact, he was in the movie so little that I think we saw Andy Serkis mocapping himself from a remote location so that he could make a glorified cameo.
He was underutilized, but there also wasn't a lot of Bruce Wayne in the film. Plenty of Batman, but not a lot of Bruce Wayne. And even when he was Bruce, he was still brooding like Batman, which actually works for the character arc.
Yes, the idea that Batsy decides to become a symbol of hope instead of vengeance at the end means that we might see the softer side of Sears in a future movie. And it wouldn't hurt if I were there to bring the jokes. Do you hear me, Reeves?
You're just not going to leave it alone, are you?
Who do you think you're talking to?
And on that note, we're ending this. Sign us off, Bane.
Be sure to watch the next one where we'll be picking back up with the animated series and covering The Cat in the Claw, Part 2. Bye!
Did you really think that Keanu Reeves directed this film?
Oh, Crane, it wasn't that I thought that. I just didn't care.
I never think.
We know!
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and a share. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon to be notified when more Batman the Animated Recap episodes go up. And we've got some other cool shows on the channel, so stick around. You might find something else that you like.